Oh my goodness. Hello.
Me.
Skoodilypoopin'.
Oh.
Skoodilypoopin', honey.
No.
Skoodilypoop. We just Skoodilypoopin' all Sunday night long. Hi guys, my name is Chris Farah. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is one of my best friends in the whole world. Her name is Wah.
Hi.
And we're here to talk about 90 Day Fiancé. It's Toe, honey, the other way. It's season 3. It's episode 4. And this is our Emmys.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we're definitely here for all of the fashion and the awards.
Yeah, well, fashion, we really only talked about the thigh highs of
knee highs of Ari. That's what I was talking about.
Knee highs of were they Ari. Knee highs or thigh highs? You're right, they're thigh highs or knee highs because they were only up to the knee. Yeah. A lot of looks though. We also had Ellie in the tourist shop with a lot of tie-dye shirts. And someone here loves a tie-dye.
Apparently. I didn't notice it, but I guess I gravitate towards tie-dye.
Yeah. That's okay. I gravitate toward like any sort of weird sleeve.
She also likes a pastoral floral print.
Yeah, I do. I'm like, well, because I went to a lot of Laura Ashley growing up. So let's get in. We're so happy to see all of our friends. Thank you so much, Lone Star. I know that we took a little minute to get us live. I started the room accidentally without pre-scheduling it and just opened. I was like, oh God, but we weren't done watching. So this is us enjoying our Sunday. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't yet, please like this video as we get into this recap. Just two friends on a Sunday night, honey, enjoying just the horror of, I guess, love and coupledom, you know, but not in our lives because I'm not gonna stay at a hostel and make you, stay by yourself in Turkey.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thanking you so much for not being that kind of friend. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or partner.
Yeah. Also, you definitely want to go to Turkey now, right?
Yeah, I definitely want to go to Turkey.
You said partner, but we're which is totally fine if you are, but we're actually not like lovers. Just
for those of you who don't know us, we're in this room right now randomly.
There could be. You never know.
For out of the 7 people, maybe there's one.
Oh yeah, there are only 7 people in this audience. Oh, I forgot to write. You know what? I forgot to post it in Vanity Fair.
Well, your Vanity Fair crew, if they haven't hit that notification bell and they don't know when Chris Farah is going to go live without you having to post in Vanity Fair,
right? Yeah.
Are they really your friends?
I mean, I want them to be my friends, but truthfully, you know what? Yeah. So if you haven't, if someone's here, oh, none of my mods are here. Well, God bless. Okay, so we're gonna get in. Why don't you start a little bit for Corey and Evelyn for me?
Okay.
Oh, none of my mods are here. And then,
well,
God bless.
Right. Okay, take the volume off of this. Okay,
I did it. Okay, and then we're gonna get in now. Here, let me just tell you. Of course, it starts with the sisters. This whole scene is taking the sisters' Susio and energy from the last episode into this one. They are mad. They don't like the dress, honey, and it's like gonna get worse. They just thought it was like an ugly, dirty, old prom dress. That's what he was doing to them. It was much more. Wow.
And then they go to Muriel's wedding dress shop, right? And as we all recall, and they're sitting down and they got some alcohol. And so now it's finally time for Evelyn to tell her sisters the things that she has been terrified of knowing. Mm-hmm. And that is that she, on a whim, well, not really a whim, as you know, on Corey's insistence, mm-hmm. got married in order for him to stay in Ecuador.
The anti-Sumit.
And
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, she actually,
she felt pressured. She felt like she'd been in this relationship for a long time, so why wouldn't she do this for him? All the things. And then she married him, immediately started bawling afterwards. Immediately. She cried in private because she didn't want him to feel bad. But she immediately was broken down and was like, this was the wrong choice. But in her mind, she was like, I'm going to keep it secret. I'm going to keep it safe. I'm going to keep it silent. Because I cannot tell my family, because if I ever want to get out of this, I want to have a quiet divorce. So if I tell them, then I will never be able to get from underneath Corey, ever.
Yeah.
And then she told Corey, because, of other things she was feeling, and probably because of this forced marriage, that she wanted a break. And he was really heartbroken about that.
So why would you do that to me, Evelyn? His voice is so high.
You know what I'm thinking, Evelyn? Hi, sister. Like, it's just like, it's so annoying.
No, I mean, I just, because we met him, obviously. And
you met him. I didn't actually meet him. I think I've met him because you told me, but I didn't actually meet him.
You were there not the second night. Oh, God,
I wasn't there the second night. I didn't live in LA at the time. You know what I'm saying? It was an LA situation, and I was not there.
Okay, let me just tell you, I like these sisters. You know, there's both of them. All of the sisters are really, really pretty, which is not one of the prerequisites for me to like you, but it doesn't hurt. And they're also sassy. Now, honey, they think she's dumb. Okay,
Señora estúpida.
These two sisters are like, you are the worst. Like, here's a better one. I liked this moment so much. I was like, I'll give you eyes open, and both of them are just like, come on. I like the sass. I like them. You know, like they're pretty. I mean, like, you know, Evelyn looks so different now than when we first saw her. Like she, you know, she's gotten them fillers, you know, like them cheeks are a poppin', you know, like, which makes, her eyes look a little more sunken in, which can make your eyes, you know, be, I don't know. Anyway, she has a different look than when we first saw her, which is fine. You know, I'm just saying, but these sisters are like, definitely Señorita Estúpida. But you know who's more estúpida? Corey. And we're going to make him feel dumb by honey. We're going to take him for some soup.
Yeah. So the next scene after they leave the wedding shop and they meet Señora Estúpida, she decides that her sisters need to have a reconciliation or like something with Corey. Mm-hmm. And so she completely breaches her confidentiality with her husband and their relationship by allowing her sisters to interrogate Corey in a humiliating manner. Not only do they interrogate him, they also order him penis soup and then all kiki and laugh about it when he says that it's chewy and fat.
Yeah, they're all like, tres soupes de crab, you know, God bless, like, you know, sopas de crab, you know, or whatever. And then just like Torrentino or whatever, like, you know, how to say bull honey in Spanish. Or she says it super fast. And Corey's just like, blink, blink, I like soup. You know, like he doesn't, you know, he just allows it. He's just like, so happy to be here. The crab comes, big ass crabs in the other soup. He's like, I love crab. Look at them crabs. You know, like his soup comes, you know, like there's no crab. He's like, I think you forgot like the crab, you know, whatever. And then, you know, like that sassy, you know. Sassy.
And I think what's crazy is that after they had a good laugh at him about the penis soup, his wife didn't even say, you know what, it's a joke, but honestly, men in our culture eat this soup as a sign of their like fertility and their value or whatever. It's like a thing of like, if you can eat the penis soup. So while it's funny and we know you feel some kind of way about it, it isn't as unheard of in this country, obviously, because we're at a restaurant and we ordered it in front of everybody. So it's not like it's like the craziest soup in the world.
I wonder if she was just like, Corey, I want you to be a man and just like have this soup. He's like, okay. You know, she's like, you know, like if you really love me, like you want to be like, learn the language. You can't even like really talk to like my family or my sisters. And like they think you know.
He's like, hola, como estás?
I know.
And there's like two of them there. So it's obviously like you would say more. But anyways, like he just, I don't know. He just is so corny that it makes me mad. But at the same time, I feel like Evelyn is disrespectful. And it's just like, well, you know, all of it. Oh, and then we got the surprise of at least my lifetime. The sisters both speak English.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it. A lot of the English. And they're like, he's like, do you have a problem with me? And she's like, I have many problems with you. And I'm like, oh, she fucking understands.
Yeah. I think that she's a little bit of a star. I think it's interesting that like the cameraman came over Corey's shoulder to make sure that we got like up close, you know, circumspect the chunkiness of that soup. Like they wanted us to be like, what's happening in that soup? And it was just like, we kept seeing the same shot of the spoon with like what looks like calamari, some like a raw calamari, you know, like kind of like it's like a pink shriveled piece of calamari, raw calamari, not purple though, in the soup, you know, with a bunch of other root vegetables, you know, or whatever, and maybe some spices or whatever. I don't know. But he said it was really chewy like lard. And they, you know, Miss Sassy like tells him, by the way, he never said it was bad or what's this? Like, I feel like she was like, just so you know, this soup is penis, you know, whatever. Like she said that, but I almost feel like she didn't have to. And the whole meal would have gone by and he would have been like, I'll get the crab next time, huh?
Yeah. They wanted to make him feel bad. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like Evelyn is just like letting them, they didn't even have one bite of their own soup. They didn't even have a moment where they're all just like,
Yeah.
It was like, go ahead, eat, stupid. Eat this balls, eat it. And then staring at it. It's just like rude. It just was unnecessary and rude. And then the way he's like, you told them our personal life. And she's like, don't turn this around on me, Corey. Just answer their questions. And I was like, he's not turning it around on you. He's asking if you divulge your guys' personal information. And the answer is yes.
Obviously, yes.
The answer is yes.
You even have to ask. Obviously, yes, she did.
Then he's like, well, she's like, well, they know we're married. And he's like, oh, you guys know? You told them? I'm just like, what's happening? Does she have to say it again? Yes, I did tell him.
You know, it just never bodes well when people, and I mean across the board, are in secret relationships, or parts of the relationships have to be kept secret. For across the board, it's never a good sign. You know, like, I just feel like, yeah, like, that reminds me of like something that happens like when you're young, like maybe like, you know, like you're like working in the same place, or like you're hanging out with the same people, and it's like that just like is such a young thing to be like, we're like hanging out, we're like hooking up, but like no one's telling anyone. Because there's two things that supposes. A, other people care as much as you think they care. And your relationship and with this other person is like 100% more about what you care than what other people. I mean, like, I don't care about other people. You know, so it's like when people, I think like, yeah, when I think of like 20-year-olds who like try and keep, or like, you know, mid-20s or 30s, like try and keep relationships in a wraps, I'm just like, why? You know, like either keep, you know, either don't be in a relationship or be out and proud, but you're just dooming your relationship and assuming we care.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you're just not really understanding the problems that already for some reason exist within your relationship that you shouldn't be in then.
Yeah. I mean, people just, I think, want the room to like make these choices and live their lives. And I'm like, it's fine if you live in another state or a city, then the people you're hiding it from, because then it's like easy to do and compartmentalize. But if you come from one of those big families where you're going to have to do this thing, and like if it ever were to come out that there was some kind of secrecy surrounding it, then people are going to want to know why. And they're going to, and when they do find out, it's going to change the way that they think about the other person. So it's just like, if it's something that you have to keep so under wraps like that, you might as well, you're right. You might as well just come out and say it so that you don't have to live that lie and deal with the consequences, as opposed to living the lie and then like secretly ferreting around.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when it comes to other people, there's certain situations you keep private, like have to do with you. And then like when it has to other people, it's like someone else is affected. It just doesn't feel as necessary. But I mean, I guess really it's a shit show. Anything else about Corey and Evelyn was a kind of boring segment, I feel like. That was it. He got mad about the penis soup. They're like, ha ha ha.
Yeah, nothing more from me.
Yeah, no, it's whatever. Okay, so moving on to Ellie and Victor. So Ellie, as we know, honey, has made the travel. Sorry, there's just, God bless, a motor show outside my part. I said apartment, but it's a house. I forgot where I live because I go, different places. But Ellie has made the whole choice to like leave Seattle her whole life. She is now in, I think it's San Andres, which is, I'm assuming, the biggest city outside that is also an island. Biggest island like outside of Providencia, which I was talking to Wa. It's like so funny because like certain like certain words happen a lot, and Providencia is the word that's happened a lot in their segment, and I hadn't thought about that word that much in my life, like Providencia. And every time I see her, like I forget her name, and my first thing is like, oh, there's Providencia, honey. I think her name's Providencia, and she's not even from Providencia. Well, now she is. So Providencia has come ready to pick up her man after this crazy hurricane. I mean, how do you feel about them, Wa?
I just think that I have a lot of compassion for Ellie because, as she said in her segment, she's lost a lot of people in her life unexpectedly, and she feels cursed.
Yeah.
And she lost her husband unexpectedly. She lost her mother unexpectedly. She found out her father had cancer, and then he died relatively quick.
Yes.
So she is, all those people around her, you could arguably say the three most important people in one's life if you don't have children, have died randomly. And so now she's on the cusp of thinking that Victor's dead.
Yes.
And has died randomly as well.
Yes.
And so, you know, she's worried and she's anxious and she doesn't know what to do. So she does a little shopping and spends what we think initially is $427 on a couple of
We
t-shirts.
screamed. You have to understand, because like, you know, like we're dumb and we don't know for sure. So this is what happened. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, I'm over here. Obviously, as you see here, I already gave you the math, but they just said 467. And we were like, this woman went to this tourist shop, honey, with like TikTok watercolor tie-dye shirts everywhere and spent 467. What is she at Target? You know, like where does she think she is? You know, but don't worry. That means she spent $22. And I kind of was like, oh, is it because she wants to change her outfit? No. We don't actually, the reason why I'm saying this is like, I don't quite know why she goes here and buys all the, she just hopped off a plane. I'm assuming she had clothes. She literally just like moved her whole life to move here. Like, don't you already have clothes? Like, did you just not wait? Like the pizza clothes where they smell the pizza, honey? She just like decided to come off of this island into this world and just was like, I'm going to buy a whole new wardrobe. But the whole new wardrobe is $22.65. Look at Wah post there. Wah. Okay, so she's like, I'm gonna find him one way or another, and I'm like, does that mean God bless dead, or does that also God bless mean like in the arms of someone else, honey? You know, like, you know, but she meant him. She goes to her room, honey, and oh, life was great. She goes to her room, honey. He calls her, and she is so happy. She's just like, oh my God, oh holy shit, oh my God, holy shit. She's like, I mean, I'm not saying that she looks old because she's not someone that looks old, but she's older. And boy, I got to get myself out of this one. But what I'm saying is, she sounds like, I don't know. She sounds like she is 14. No, she sounds like she's in normal life, 21 years old. And then when she's on the phone with him, she is g'day.
I mean, well, she thought he might be dead. So
Waz like, take it down a notch.
Let's put that into perspective.
Okay.
And then she'd been talking to him. She's surrounded by these producers and cameramen. And they're having her, you know, talk every couple hours about it. And then finally she's like talking to them and she's like, bring. And then she's like, oh, okay, let me just. And so it just is like, she literally says, the nightmare just ended right now. It just ended. She's like, I don't even know. And I'm like, yeah, if I were her, I would have had to lay down.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had been stressed out filming, doing all this stuff, thinking that you might get caught on camera, finding out that someone you love dearly has died. She says she doesn't get a lot of chances because of all that has happened. And so even though he's cheated on her, she's still going to give this chance for love because of all of the people who have left her in the life. And so she's like, I'd rather be with this person who loves me and who I love, who cheated on me, than not and miss out on this opportunity. And so again, I'm watching a grown-ass woman make choices for herself, and I'm not going to judge her. I'm just going to watch her do it. But in that moment, if I were her, I would have had to lay down.
Yeah.
And just like, I need 30 minutes, you guys, and cry and release all of the stress of what's going on.
I would wrap myself up in this gravity blanket. One of my favorite things, one of my favorite purchases, and I've purchased a lot. But this Bearaby weighted blanket, I mean, cozy AF. Like when it's hot, it's even because of like the fibers and there's breathability in it. Like you can really like just tuck yourself into it. But it's so heavy and compressing-y, so it really just like feels like it hugs you. And I just would need that weight on top of me just to hold me down, like literally and figuratively. Yeah, Mickey says she'd cry, honey. She'd Armando and Kenny cry, you know, like Armando and Kenny getting double hugged by the dad cry, you know. Thanks, Juan.
Yep. I mean, I know what that feels like, because did I double cry when Armando and Kenny dad got hugged? Yes, I did.
Hey, Doris. Anyway, so let's talk about Yeah, I feel bad that she thinks that she's cursed. So anyway, he's of course in this phone call is like, just kidding, I'm at the airport, come pick me up. She's like, okay. So she goes and picks him up. When she like hugs him, it's just like she's hugging him. He feels incredibly warm. He feels incredibly like authentic in this moment. He does, like he's alive, which is great, and here he is, like we get to see him in the flesh. Juan made an interesting comment about his.
I hate that he shaved his mustache.
Yeah, let's think about.
I hate it.
Every day, what he does, which is the choice to get rid of that. Every day he makes that choice.
Yeah, I don't like it. But he's happy to be alive. He says that he went through a lot. It was his mother, him, his sister, and his niece and nephew, or two nieces, underneath the kitchen table. Underneath the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
And so it's, it's a lot that he's gone through, but they're finally safe, and he's in her arms, and and she's, they get back to her hotel, and she says, welcome home. And I'm like, and then they curl up on a twin mattress together.
That's a theme. There's like a little bit of a theme of like, where is home in this episode, right? Because Providencia was his home. It was going to be her home. She's left her home. His home was destroyed. She's like, welcome home. And they're just like in like a hotel room, but home is wherever they are together. And of course, I'm also somewhat talking about Ari's situation, because she's like, yeah, this feels like home is the whole Ethiopia thing. And Leandra's like,
you were just crying to me about this. This is why I'm here.
You said you were homesick, which means that you want to be where your home is and you aren't there. That is literally what that means. I'm not dumb. Okay. So anything else about Ellie and Victor? Not really. Like, that's like, yeah. So my booby boobs, we're going to go into, again, Cry Fest 2017, Kenny and Armando. What?
Cry Fest 2017?
Yeah, it's a 5-year-old Cry Fest.
Oh.
How old is Hannah? 4? I don't know. 7?
I don't know. Hannah's not 7, but she's also not 4. I think she's like 5 or 6. Maybe she's 7, 8. You're right. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about Kenny and Armando. So as we know, they're the cutest people in the whole world, and they're the best, and we love them very much. And Veronica's like, woo child, I sobbed. Like, literally, we're watching on my bed, and I have behind me just like a box of tissue. I think it's still sitting right there. We had to bring it down. I was just like, it
hit me so unexpectedly. I was like, oh my God, we have to watch boring ass Kenny and Armando go to San Felipe, and like, that might not be the name of the town, but like go there. 4 hours away. We've got Hannah being cute in the back seat with Cassidy.
Yeah, she's like, hey, she's like, hola Poochie. And Cassidy's like, what are you saying? And she's like, hola Poochie. And Cassidy's like, I'm sorry, excuse me. Armando, am I supposed to say that? Is that okay for me to say that right now? Armando, you hearing me about this with your daughter? Okay, hola Poochie. Just making sure that's what I should be saying to your daughter.
Have you guys seen Hannah's Instagram? 1.
That baby?
2. Yeah. She's
That's 4-year-old?
I'm sorry. Armando knows the assignment. He had a baby girl, and he's like, bows all the time. Yeah. Hannah has an Instagram.
I didn't know that. Did you guys know
that? Yeah. Anyways, so Hannah's always
show it.
Hannah is always dressed to impress. Okay. So she's with Cassidy, and all the girls are like feeling good. Also, Kenny knows how to dress the girls too, because he's had 3 of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're in the car and they're being cute, and Hannah's learned so much English since their first season.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, she picked it up like a sponge.
Kids do.
She picked it up like a sponge. So she's like, Kenny really likes the interaction between Cassidy and Hannah. Cute. The whole car ride, I'm sure they're either talking about the wedding, how nervous they are about the dad, and like, other things. They get to the house. It's nighttime. The family comes out to the porch. Kenny and Armando hug everybody. Armando asks about the dad. The mom's like, oh, he went to the store. As though like, that whole like, oh, where'd your dad go? He went to the store to get cigarettes and never came back. Like, what?
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, dad pops out of the house.
Oh my God. And at first I didn't recognize him because the sprightness that he popped out and like he was wearing a baseball cap. He looked young to me. So I literally was like, oh, he's just gonna like, who's that uncle that's hugging Armando? Why is Armando so sad about this uncle? Like, look how Eddie's look younger to me. Then I realized this must be the dad, honey. And like, here we go. So they have a long embrace, a true loving embrace. I mean, and okay. Then this also happens, which is good. That's fine. You know, like, is it this? Not as much, but here's the thing. We're working up to it, you know. Who's that? Cassidy?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I put that on.
Mm-hmm. Look at this shit.
Oh, wow.
Look at her.
No. Oh my God. She's
look at Hannah.
What?
Look at this.
Okay.
You can't really see, but that's 7-year-old or 5-year-old or 8-year-old Hannah.
She's a 47-year-old, but what a great.
Okay.
That's a model. Okay.
Look at this. Okay, well, yes.
Speaking of
look at this.
Oh yeah,
okay,
she's a little star.
Yeah.
Oh,
look at this.
Okay. You know what? She's a little star.
Okay, yeah. Look at this.
We'll show him that.
Okay. Look at that.
That's a little star.
That's Hannah Rubio,
honey. I mean, she can be on TV right now.
Yeah. Like,
learn that Spanish.
Bows.
I mean, you know,
days.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh,
come on, señorita.
Yeah.
Mamita.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying you should get into Hannah and follow her. Look at this shit. Look at this.
Pose.
Pose.
Yeah. We'll show them that one. That's the last one. Look at their Christmas thing last year. You know it's going to happen again. But look at it. It's a Christmas card, but look at her. She's doing it. She knows what she knows. She knows what she's doing.
She knows what she's doing. Anyways, so that's Hannah. She's my friend and I love her. So they get to the house and the hug that Armando's father gives him, it's a head grab. It's kisses. It is so beautiful that I am booty hooting. Okay. Boo hoo. And then he goes over and gives Kenny a hug. He hugs, like, and the mom's even like, Kenny's daughter is here. And he says, in a minute, I have to give this love to my son. And then
I just want to side note, look at this picture. What I love in this picture is also, it's like, this moment is so beautiful that it literally looks like it stopped time, honey. And all the people around it are just like frozen in time and or just like somewhat blurry because none of them matter. It's only the beauty. Oh my God. Is that a baby picture of Hannah?
Yeah, it is.
She's still showing me. That Hannah Instagram. I mean, what a little star. They decided to eat a meal together. And, you know, like, we were into it. Like, we were like, oh, what are they going to eat? And I did take a picture. And where did it go? Oh, no. You're like, Chris, you took a picture. And it's like, yeah, I thought I did. But, you know, I can't find it in this moment. How sad. Their meal looked great. And, like, why we were just like, oh, whatever it is. Like, it looks like, I think it was, oh, here it is. Why is it not there? Beans, slaw, some like chicken. It looked so nice. And then, so here's the thing. Half of the reason, if not like Cassidy is one part, but the other half of the reason of them doing this whole situation is that Armando is supposed to tell his parents that they are getting married and it's going to be a big ass wedding. Now the mom knows they're going to get married, but the mom doesn't think it's a big ass wedding, and the dad doesn't know that they're getting married for whatever reason. And we just like also just have to know that the mom is not going to tell him for some also reason. Like,
I mean, I don't think it's for some. I think that us as Americans are having a really hard time understanding what Armando is going through and how this needs to be said to his family in increments. And it's hard for all of them. And even like, you know, like, so for me, it's almost like how we're like, oh, just come out of the closet already, right? There's this idea because as a society, we're progressed a little bit more than we were 15, 20 years ago, that now when you meet people who are like in the closet, it's more like, girl, come out.
Yeah.
However, it's not my journey. It's not my story. It's not my life. And I will never know how hard it is for someone to come out.
Yeah.
One, I will never know how hard it is for someone to come out as gay and then live comfortably as themselves in their own skin. Because there are people who come out as gay and still don't find a partner or they keep everything hush hush, or whatever they do when they do get love. It's like dirty and seedy, right? It's not out and proud and like, you know. And like, it's a lot. There's a lot that I'm not aware of as a, you know, heteronormative. And like, I get where Kenny's coming from, because he's like, he needs to be comfortable and he wants to feel whatever. But I'm just like, Kenny's a brave soul who was out since like 1982. Good for him.
Yeah.
But like, I have no idea what Armando's situation is like.
Yeah, absolutely. So after the Emmy dinner part, obviously, they're talking, and it's, as I tell you, Kenny wants Armando to let them know that they will be A, getting married, and B, that'll be a fun big ass affair they're gonna spend a lot of money on. And Armando cannot do it. He just is like, I just can't do it. And it is difficult. This is after Kenny had apologized to Armando's dad and wanted to make that known, that he wishes that he could, of course, speak more and connect with him more verbally, but he can't speak Spanish that well. And but how nice it is to be here with everyone, because he himself has been there for a year with none of his family. And of course, his daughter's right there. And then his daughter just
breaks down.
Yeah, then Kenny, honey,
breaks down. It's like an ugly cry all around. We got Deborah.
Deborah is like, does everyone want me to stay?
Yeah, like everyone is crying. Mom is crying. Mom is like, I understand, Kenny, because as being a mother and like having to not see your kids for X amount of time because of the pandemic and because of all the stuff that's going on. And I'm just like, listen, as long as everybody sees each other as human beings with valid feelings right in this moment, maybe in this moment for Armando and what he knows his parents' reaction will be, is not the time for him to bust out with like, and we're having a huge wedding.
Yeah.
Because like, here's the deal. Like, it's more than just his family. It's more than just his immediate family. These are tias and tios and primos and primas and madrinos and madrinas. These are neighborhood people too. So if they have a big party, I mean, I don't know where they're planning on having it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot.
Yeah. So, yeah. I'm excited for them though, because it does feel like there is obviously like a positive change that there's been. And definitely Kenny felt that as well. Like, well, obviously it was much more positive than the first time, honey. So, I get the increments and there's small steps and patience in a lot of things, and it's hard. Family's hard, and
they live 4 hours away. So to me, that's a huge step, and they get to be themselves for the majority of the time.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. I'm just like, now that you showed me that Hannah Instagram, I'm like, Hannah has to just move to Los Angeles. She's gonna become a child star and let us live in LA, right?
Yeah.
They'll live in West Hollywood.
I mean, I don't want her to move to LA. I would like her to be in novelas first. Like, I want her to be big in Mexico first.
Well, here's the thing. I want her to be a star. So at this point, I need her to like get to where she can go to auditions and like wherever they're taping.
She can do that in Mexico.
City?
Yeah, girl.
Of course, yeah. Of course, I know you can do Mexico.
Definitely, like, she'll be like just all over Latin America. Just all over Latin America.
Yeah. Until she gets on Nick. But she's already at a cute age though. She might already have to go to Nickelodeon. Maybe she's at Nick Jr. age.
It's like the Spanish version?
Yeah.
Nick.
Yeah.
Nick Jr. Okay, go ahead.
I love that was your Spanish. I mean, Spanish accent. Okay, Biniyam and Ariel. So, as a side note, I love that you have been with us through, obviously, the sun setting, because it's been like 7 different colors and 7 different lightnesses on here. Now it's just like sunset. We're coming hot off of the incredible decision that Ariel made, which is I'm going to invite my ex-husband for like nearly like 11 years to come be here. And I'm just going to parade him around my husband, my ex-husband around Biniyam, who's like my soon-to-be husband and baby father. And I'm going to play like, why is everyone so upset at me? And why don't people get, like, he's just my best friend. It's not a big deal, when like the other half of her loves the fact that she's putting her baby in Leandro's arms, being like, what does it feel like in front of their dad? And things that I am to my core being like, that's the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. She calls him Lander also. She doesn't call him Leandro.
Why did she?
Bothers me.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Lander. So they go for coffee.
There she is.
Her and Lander.
First of all, you know that Mimi had to do these braids for her. Mimi has to do these like Dutch braids for her. Like, and she just sits there and like talks about like how upsetting it is to have like two men fighting over her and how upsetting it is for her and the baby. And Mimi's just like, okay, just like braiding this woman's hair.
What makes them Dutch?
I think those are the ones like, okay, so French braids, regular French braids wouldn't pop out like that.
Oh, so they're overhand instead of underhand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh no, they went to go get coffee and she's wearing this dress with black knee-high stockings, and we're just like, is that back? Or is just you making a choice?
We're gonna get to this part, but I wanted to show you the black stockings.
It's like, okay.
She committed to this outfit. It's like an orange dress, and yeah, you said knee highs, but now that I'm looking at them, they're actually past the knee.
Okay.
Yeah, those are a thigh high, honey. Those are a thigh high. I mean, her outfits and her styling choice. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, there's nothing wrong with her, but she's just such an interesting person, and I'm not quite sure if I get her, you know. And I think that if I had to be around her and hear her talk and the decisions that she's made and like the way that she thinks and her rationale and her logic for like anything, I think I'd be annoyed. But the fashion choice is just like another interesting thing. But here she goes. She's going to jump over this fire. Let me tell you. So she comes in, you know, after going to coffee, which is like, you know, I mean, Leandra, which is like on that couch, honey, like two boys on their phone, probably not talking because like all Leandra was thinking about the fact that Biniyam's going to like literally kill him at any given time. But after coffee, they decide that instead of just like leaving Leandra at home, so, you know, like he doesn't have to go to someone's family affair, she decides to bring him to a family affair, which is a religious family holiday affair at Biniyam's sister's house. Biniyam's sister's name is Wish. That's Wish there behind the fire. I wish that Wish would be on every episode, you know, like Wish is more of a demand because she's doing the Lord's work. She's demanding the answers. So again, I feel like this is a religious holiday. There was really no reason for her to bring this other person, you know, but she decides she has to because he's in town. I'm just leave him at home. That's fine. He's fine on that couch on that phone. Truly, he looked really comfortable. But during this religious holiday, that's like Jesus did something, my loves, and something happened. Okay, truly, you have to light this fire and you jump over it and you make a wish. Okay, and I literally was like, is she gonna get those thigh highs on fire? And you know, Wish is like, can I wish for you to leave?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I thought that it was really disrespectful the way that Benny allowed his family to attack her and she just sat there.
Yeah.
And he didn't, because he feels like he wants answers, but he's not man enough to stand up and get the answers and have the conversation with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unfortunate that she feels like the way she's going to get him to be the husband that he needs to be is by showing him love and maybe then he'll see what he needs to do. And then I'm like, no, you need to leave him.
Yeah,
you need to leave him. You need to say, here's what I need from you. If you don't give me these things, if I don't see any improvement by this time, in a year, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I will let you, I promise you that I will not take away your son from you and I will go back and forth. But I can't be in a relationship with a man who just gets up and leaves in the middle of the night to go hang out with his friends. Like, you're my husband. You need to be here and stay here with me.
Yeah.
Period.
She says they're having a lot of issues, and like with Leandra, they have a lot. She talks to Leandra, and she's like, well, "What do you think of my life? You know, that you're here." And he's like, "Well, your relationship with Biniyam is there's some challenges there, and Ethiopia is interesting, but it's not like New Jersey, isn't it?" And she's like, "Well, you know, like that's fine. This is home, actually. I'm totally chill here. Yeah, like we're good. And yeah, Biniyam and I have like some issues, but we're gonna work on them before we get married." And I was like, "Okay, but like not before you have a kid with him." Okay, God bless. Also, she does again say that she says, I wrote it down, if Abby and her make him feel comfortable and that they won't leave him, like he'll, you know, get better. But her choice and her plan of action, if that is what she's doing to make him comfortable and act like she's not going to leave him, is to bring her ex-husband that she was with for years and years and years and then have him around a lot, and then just be like, why is everyone suspicious? It's so crazy. When I can't go to coffee with him, when the neighbors are suspicious, that's so weird. And meanwhile, like Biniyam's family's like, Biniyam's family are like, we are like not gonna, I mean, they're not like this, but they're kind of like, listen, Michael's family let Angela come here, honey, and they didn't do what they were supposed to do, and that's not going to happen. Like, Wish is like, I am taking it upon myself, honey. You are not it. But she's also like, she's giving shade left and right. And one of the ways she gives shade is that she tells Leandro, who is like, I don't follow any rules. Oh, that's why you like Ari. She doesn't follow any rules, like how to be a good wife or how to be a good mom or like what you're supposed to do. Or
my thing is, it's not Ari's problem. This is Benny. He needs to step up and do these things. And he is having someone else, his sister, step in. And he thinks that their relationship is going to at some point be okay. It's never going to be okay. If I were Ari, I would never be able to get over this.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
I'd be like, your sister's a bitch, and she was rude to me during a time when it was really hard, even though I was here the whole time. Like, and I'm here with the kid. Like, she was rude to me. And all it made me want to do was leave and do the thing that she says she's trying to prevent, which is ask me a million questions.
Mm-hmm.
What? Like, Ari needs, I can't, listen, personally, my personality is not one to beat around the bush. And I literally cannot. I physically cannot. It gives me anxiety. It stresses me out. I cannot. Those people who are just like, well, we just don't talk about it because like it's hard. Like, what? What do you mean we just don't talk about it? Like, Benny, where are you going? Oh no, this is unacceptable. I don't accept this. I will go home. So you have to do what I say, or I will go home and I will take this baby with me. Period. I'm not going to be here and be unhappy. So you need to make me happy.
Yeah, and he already feeling the pain of like what it's like to lose one child.
You already know what it feels like, so don't fuck it up.
Yeah, you don't want to feel that again, do you?
Yeah.
And you're not going to hold that over my head and make me feel guilty to stay here if I'm not happy. I mean, that's what she's. I mean, but at the same time,
no, not at the same time.
Yeah, what she's done with Leandro is very disrespectful.
Oh yes, but that doesn't mean that yes, she's wrong and he's wrong. Separate lanes of wrongness.
Yeah. So, but I think that I thought about this when the last episode happened and they were sitting there at that dinner with his hot ass his hot girlfriend, whatever, ex-girlfriend / dance partner or whatever. And I kind of looked at both of them and I was like, what if this is their lot? Honey, this is it. This is it. Like, they're supposed to be together because they've done messed up other things and like they're living out some karmic thing together. Heather Palma, look at this super chat. Good morning from Riyadh.
Riyadh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Love it when both of you are doing together the reviews. That makes me happy. Oh, good. We're happy to be together too. We're into it. Okay, so moving on. Let's see. We did that. So, it's the capital of Saudi Arabia. How gorgeous. What an amazing super chat, by the way. Heather, thank you so much for that incredibly generous, incredibly gracious super chat. Oh my God, Saudi Arabia, my love. Shukran. Jenny and Sumit.
I think that Jenny did a good thing this episode. I mean, she really did push the needle so far with just like one phone call and maybe a tuk-tuk ride later, right?
Yeah.
Sumit. When she says that about Sumit, that he has a hard time because he's been coddled and babied by his parents for all of his life, that like things that are small seem insurmountable to him and he like gets nervous and overthinks them. I'm like, so you overthought just being able to like contact somebody and ask them about your passport to the point where you were just stuck and you couldn't call and ask, or you couldn't get online and ask about this thing. And it put in perspective the reason why he's not getting married is because he's too stuck overthinking and worried about what his parents are going to do. I thought it was out of respect and culture-wise, he's like, I can't survive with, I mean, it is that, but the next layer is that he actually has some kind of mental illness. Like that's a mental illness. Like it's an emotional problem he has. And like, he's terrified of losing his parents' support. They paid for his divorce. They're probably paying for the house they're living right now. Like, who's paying for that apartment they're living in? I don't think Sumit works. Is it Jenny? Like, so part of my now thought process is he's afraid to get off the teat.
Then yeah, I mean, this is not, it's, I always knew that he had a like regressive, you know, like Peter Pan syndrome, you know, that he is like a little boy, you know, that like he, and this situation with the passport truly was so confusing because it really does feel like a little boy who just didn't do something he was supposed to do, whose mom was like, we're going to get it done now. No, I'm going to have to go with you to get it done. All right. Well, don't you look how easy that was? Don't you feel dumb that you just did it? And he's like, yeah. You know, like, let's just say, he, you know, it's like, it almost felt like a kid who had gotten a parking ticket, who didn't pay the parking ticket, who had to go and show up for something at the something, you know, and like the mom was just like, humph. And the kid was like, you know, it is so truly distasteful and disgraceful because he's an old enough person to like be on top of his stuff. You know, he's not on top of his shit at all, regardless of his age, regardless of his sex, regardless of his culture. It doesn't make a difference. Anyone should be a little more, stronger in their self-identity that of course encompasses areas of responsibility and maturity. You know, there's parts of that, you know, that are all come together. Jenny in this, after she gets this done, I mean, we've heard it before, but she feels like she has a certain amount of stronger resolve this season with the yelling that she did beforehand. I'm not gonna leave. And this one, she's kind of like, I never told him this, so I'm just going to 100% tell him. You need to marry me because you keep saying it. And if you want me to stay, you need to marry me. And he's like, well, let's see. And she's like, no, not well, let's see. But then we're okay. Like in this moment, we're like, all right, bitch. Well, you know what? Double down, give him a date. That's how I am like. I'm like, no, okay. So, I mean, if you want me to be with you, you will marry me by September 19th right now. You will marry me within the next week, which will make it your ultimate deadline. I will book a ticket and I'll be gone October 1st.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what she needs to do. But this was even a step in that direction where she's like, if you don't want to marry me because of things that are going on in your life, you have to say that so that you can just let me go. Because at this point, you've said it too many times. And so marry me or let me go.
Yeah. And set me free, why don't you, baby? Get out,
Get out my life, why don't you, baby?
It's the different verse. Set me free, why don't you, baby? Let me be, why don't you, baby? Because you don't really love me. You just keep me hanging on.
Whose version is that? I've never heard that version.
Belinda Carlisle?
Oh,
honey, when we get off this phone.
Oh, no, I don't want to listen to it. I mean, the Supremes are just the Supreme.
No, listen, 100% you wouldn't pick one or the other.
Oh,
you would just...
It's so... Okay.
Yeah, because you know why? Because it's so 80s.
Oh, it's an 80s version.
Yes. And the other one is so obviously... beautifully Motown and you know, that's why, and of course, like if I had to pick one, the Motown wins, but it's like it is so different enough, and it's one singer, not three, like, you know. So I mean,
I've never even heard of it. I've never heard
it's a little rocky,
interesting,
pop rocky 80s, you know.
Okay,
kind of epic, like, you know, like synthesizer. Okay, well, honey, don't worry if you're thinking, oh, Chris, you must. Don't worry. I will. You know? So yeah, pretty much she tells him what's up, and she gets him to admit that sometimes he does have this anxiety, which of course she like calls it, I don't know. She's like, you think too much, you know, overthinking, but it's like he has anxiety this is something that I think that is a universal thing. When you have anxiety about something and you're weighing all the options and you're thinking about it too much, and it means so much that you literally just get like almost like frozen in time, or like paralyzed. You're just like, I can't do anything.
Yeah, I could not be in a relationship with him.
Oh my God! No! No!
Yeah.
No!
I couldn't. I honestly, I couldn't. I couldn't. It's not masculine to me.
Oh yeah, no, it's the opposite of.
Yeah. And it sucks that I said that.
Why?
I'm attracted to masculinity, and so like in any person, I'm attracted to masculinity, and it sucks to say that somebody who has like a nervous system problem, which is what I usually think of anxiety. It's more like a neurology like thing for me. For me personally, when I have it, my brain is just like synapses are spinning. But like, to the point where you're stuck and you don't make big life choices, or you make wrong life choices, like no.
You know what it is? It's like, okay, I know what you're saying. People experience the anxiety thing, but at the same time, I need someone who has discernment, emotional intelligence, and can act. I need that kind of person. I think that I am that kind of person. So because I have some parts of me that are that, I can't go opposite and have someone who doesn't have that at all. Because I'm not 100% that, and I need that as well. So I need that or more from someone. But yeah, I can see it that it's like, it seems like a masculine, it does seem quote unquote masculine, even though it's truly something that I think that as humans, it really is about, again, like decision-making, thought, follow through. Like you want to be with someone regardless of their gender, that you are like, when you watch them make decisions, you're like, yeah, I can get that. Yeah, that makes sense. Where, I mean, like, not everyone you have to agree with, but you're not like, wait, what? That's what you decide to do? Like, you know.
Yeah, you decided to do nothing about getting your passport. We went to figure out how I could be a devotee first.
Yeah.
Before you just went to the office and saw the man in the uniform and got the information about how to get a passport.
We'll take a month. We'll just get someone to verify you where you live.
Like, I went through that. I went through talking to a lawyer. I went through like...
I said Hare Krishna 108 times.
I got on the phone and called people. Like, I applied for my visa over and over again. And every 3 months I was terrified when you could have just...
Motherfucker.
Gone?
Getting it done.
Okay.
All right. Well, where am I?
Yeah.
India, I guess, and I can't stay too long. Marianne, thank you so much for the super sticker. Yay, Marianne! Dee 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 dee. I was gonna freeze more. Okay, so here's the thing. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, she put down the gauntlet, I guess. She really put her foot in drew the line in the sand.
And he's gonna look at that line and tiptoe around that line. He's gonna look at the gauntlet.
He's gonna mess up the line. He's gonna mess
he's
up.
Gonna look at the line. He's gonna look at the gauntlet
sand
and be like, "Oh, this is heavy. What material is this?"
Yeah.
They're like, "No, put the gauntlet down. Don't worry about the material and make a decision."
Yeah.
Oh no, I like this gauntlet.
Yeah, everything.
Are there more gauntlets in America?
Yeah.
Like what?
I mean, it is otherworldly, but truly, I wouldn't wish the situation on anyone I loved, woman or man. But specifically, I wouldn't wish him on any female in my life. I would not let it happen.
I root for them, but I don't root for this handicap that he has.
No. Okay, I feel like I went and saved the best for last. Because how could you give your love to someone else
and share?
Wait, I want to hear it again. Go back down.
Sometimes the very thing you're looking for is the one thing you can't see.
I appreciate you because you really turned that Vanessa Williams song into a Toni Braxton song.
Goes round the moon.
I just realized how messy this is.
Sometimes the band do.
Okay. It's Steven with a V and Alina.
Just when I fall.
Okay, that's who we saved for.
You wouldn't save the best.
Here, Steven with a V is, honey, he is on his way. And he has to take 3 planes. And as you remember, before he had to leave for the airport, he wanted to eat some snacks and pee. And his mom was like, you don't have time.
No, I said, You don't have time. And his mom's like, well, Steven, I don't think we have time for that.
He's like, so I can't have the snacks. But so he doesn't get to have the snacks, honey, but don't worry, because once he gets in that plane, he got his nuts and he's ready to fly. Now, we can just have a real good moment here. He has his nuts. You're ready to fly. I mean, in that mask, honey, and you need nuts to fly in COVID, especially on 3 planes.
Cajones.
Mm-hmm. So, he does, my loves. He versus the entire world. This 4-year-old. I mean, to go to Turkey, which we now are super into and really want to go to. How gorgeous does Turkey look? To meet his betrothed, who is Alina. I actually don't have any more pictures. Right. But Alina just has made a poor decision in her life, which is that. And I don't know where they are in life, but I would like to think that Alina at this point, and we will find out their relationship, but I have done no research, okay? But I want Alina to be smart enough to have broken up by him, with him by now. I feel like the moment that he jumps in the pool is the moment she's like, oh. Anyway, they were only together 2 weeks, right? Together. That's only the times they've known each other, and they decided to go on this journey together where they're going to get married in Turkey. They're supposed to be in Turkey for a month, and this is going to, I guess, come up next week when they're supposed to now get married super fast. In Turkey for a month, get married there, then take him to Russia, live in Russia. I don't know if they're supposed to live together with her and her mom, who, by the way, her mom is like our age, I guess, because, and then like the mom's mom is very young. Everyone's really young.
I'm like, grandma is 60. Mom is 40.
Oh, I thought that mom was like,
Elena's 20. It's like, so Elena needs to have a child now so that grandma could be a great grandma.
Honey, by that time,
tradition going.
They're gonna have a great grandmother ready. Well, let's see. You think that grandmother have 40 more years? How's a grandmother?
No. If Elena has her baby now,
yeah,
grandma will be a great grandmother.
Yeah. But then I thought, could we do one more? And the answer is no.
We could. It was another 20 years.
Yeah, but the problem. 20 years from this point, so the grandma will be 80.
Mm-hmm.
So the grandma could totally be a great grandmother.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
If they keep going.
Yeah,
with a 20-year difference.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them should do like a 7 to be pregnant at 17. Just solidify.
Well, it can't be Alina. She's already.
Yeah. No. So like maybe Alina's daughter should get pregnant at 17. That way we for sure know great granny is great grannying.
Well, let's see if that kid's raised Mormon, and we're gonna.
Then they will have the baby. Yeah.
Oh! Okay, so here we are. After Stephen with a V makes his incredible long journey into Turkey, he gets to Alina, honey, and they see each other in the airport. And this man is coming with his like Rolly McRolls, honey, and he has just walked through the doors, the electric. Automatic doors of where she, of course, is, and like the area that you can be at when you're not, like going through security or whatever. He walks through the doors and honey, lets go of his bags. They are now just on the ground, sparse in between. People in these doors are like, okay, and runs to her and hugs her. And I'm going to tell you, I don't believe that someone doesn't have body awareness enough to know that, wait, is that what I did with my bags in that moment?
No, I do. Yes.
You think that he truly in that moment was just so taken that he just doesn't have. Okay, well, I mean,
he's
okay. Well,
yeah.
Do we even talk about him if he is this? Because how can we talk about him?
100%. She is the parent. She's going to have to parental him because the boy can't even live in this apartment with this woman without worrying about being tempted by Eve's fruit. He is believing the stereotypes of men and their urges to the point where he wasn't able to remain a virgin.
He really feels like the urge of sexuality is so strong that once it starts a man,
that not only can he not stop it, but it's partly his duty to not stop it because he's going to fall back on the scapegoat of boys will be boys. She's like, I find it very hard to believe that you're going to not be able to control yourself, Steven. And he's like, no, I won't be able to because
you're so cute.
You're so cute.
You
Like, I don't know if they believe in the devil, but like he's going to have one of those things where like an outside force came into his body.
We have so many talk about. I actually forgot one whole thing before she leaves for the airport. I forgot about this. Her and her mother, the mother that's like our age, and then grandmother who's like 45. They all sit down. There's a Russian tradition that's called seat for the road, and basically, the seat for the road is that you sit with people. Honey, you just don't talk for a second. Their eyes weren't closed, so they kind of look at each other.
They were just like,
yeah, you don't talk.
Meanwhile, like cameras and like bright lights surrounding them.
Were they looking at her? They're kind of just like together. They were on that couch together. Not okay. They were just kind of just like
grandma's in her house dress.
Okay, seat for the road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know what? What a beautiful tradition.
Mm-hmm.
A seat for the road. Take a seat for the road. But you know what I think it is? Actually, I do like it. I'll tell you why. I think, and we're playing it, but I think that it's actually, and I don't know this for sure. I would love it to be, and I'm sure it is this, and I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm talking about. A mindful moment that you have with someone where you sit, you feel their energy, like this is our last moment together before one of us leaves. Let's remember what our presence is. And maybe it would be awkward if you just stared at the person in their eyes or whatever, like didn't say anything. Every time you left someone, you just had to be like, maybe that would be awkward, And so instead you don't look at their eyes. You kind of just
it makes it so that like the last moment you have with the person before they go on a large journey or traveling or get on a plane is that you just sat with them for a moment and you had that moment with them. I think it was just a little bit awkward because the cameras were there.
Now Jessica Vanessa wants a snack for the road, honey, and definitely Stephen with the V wants a snack for the road. He wants two, but I prefer a drink anyway. So I mean to go back and forth, but that was just an interesting part of the 90-day journey for us. So I have so much written about them. So yeah, and I'm just like, before she left, I really was just like, all right, so when they move back to Russia, are they having their own place?
Yeah, they'll be married.
Okay, but who's paying for the place?
Oh.
Right. There's not like a marriage, like, isn't like there's a marriage income. Oh, you're married now? Here's some money. Even if it was. That's what, gang should run on. Just kidding. So I think, let's go back. So he, again, goes in the airport, sees her the first time, runs and hugs her like he's like in a movie in their minds where I said he throws it back on the floor. People are like, we have to walk around these bags. It's incredibly awkward. I'm surprised he doesn't get like security.
I would have been so audibly annoyed.
Oh, I would have been like, are these your bags?
I'm like, I know you guys are filming. I'm so sorry. But like, what is happening? Can you move your bags, sir? I'm sorry. My child is coming. I'm just making it up. I don't have a kid. my elderly father is going to come through right now, and I won't be able to push him through if these are here. I know you're filming. I'm so sorry. Hi.
Yeah.
Can you move this?
Yeah.
The fuck
I'd be like, is there security? I'm sorry. We're in a post 9/11 world. We're not in Russia. I know we're like in Turkey, but like, does this not look suspicious? There's bags on the floor.
I'm seeing something, and therefore I am saying something.
Yeah. I don't like what I'm seeing. Yeah. Oh, I am so mad about those bags.
It's like the airport is already a stressful place, and then here you go being a bumbleclot.
Honey, they start kissing. They're like, one kiss, two kiss, that's not enough. She's like, ha, like they get to the apartment. Now, the apartment that he's rented for her, the apartment is fine, but he's just like, look at this kitchen. Now, here's the thing. It is a tiny kitchen. Now, it is not a kitchen. It's a bar. It's a wet bar. Okay. But I understand we're in Europe. Not in Europe, in Turkey, some part of the world that I'm not used to. And I am privileged.
I thought it was really nice for what I thought it was going to be.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a nice looking apartment, but it just like, it wasn't a huge kitchen. Here, I'm into the bitch. I'm just picking apart because he was like, it's such a big kitchen. And I was just like, no, it's not. But it had a balcony, and the balcony was great. He goes in the balcony. He's like, look, it's the street. And they go out on the balcony, look at the street, and they're so happy. I mean, he's like, do you want me to take off your shoes? Because he took off his shoes. She's like, no. And in this moment, I wonder also, she's like, this is also weird, but he takes off her shoes. And he's just kept being like, you look super good. You are so cute. Is kissing her and one more. And she feels like he's cute. You know, it's so interesting to watch people be like romantic and or sexual and use the word cute so much. But I understand that other people do that.
I mean, someone being cute, a husband does not make. Like, it is just very clear to me and evident that he is not right for this. But here's what it is. I do think that he probably feels like maybe for his culture, his religion, that he's getting married a little late. Because sometimes, and this is in the case of my cousin, once you come back from your missionary, your 2 years abroad, 19, 20, 21, you get married. And you have a baby. Mm-hmm. So you usually have a baby by 23. Not usually, sometimes. Have a baby by 23. I've seen that outcome more so than I've seen the other. Mm-hmm. And I haven't seen a lot, but I'm just saying my tiny experience has been that. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, I imagine if there are two 21-year-olds who have a baby, like you just kind of grow into it together and get to know each other together through your faith, and you get up in the morning and read your scriptures. I felt like she's like, I don't understand your religion, why your religion is like making it so that we have to do all of these things in order to prove that we are worthy of it. Like, why can't we just be normal and just like not put ourselves through unnecessary like strain?
because she hasn't done anything bad, but he has.
Also, she is not Mormon, and she is still a virgin. And she says it's not because I'm for religious reasons, it's because it just hasn't happened. So she's like, it could still just not happen for the next 90 days.
Yeah, it absolutely could. She's like, and also she's also probably like, yeah, you're quote unquote cute, but like I'm not like chomping at the bit for this one. I'm not just like, this isn't like this needs to be it.
He's definitely chomping at the bit because he's already got his little pecker wet one time. So now he's like, it probably overwhelmed him and took over his entire body. And like, I know for a minute it could be pretty intense the first couple times.
I'm dying, but okay, let's talk about his pecker getting wet later. But he in the house in this first night of apartment, which he's like, I'll stay the first night, but it's very hard for me as I set up in the couch. And then he's like, like it was great because, our moms weren't there, so we could do whatever we want. And he meant by whatever we want, which means he's going to, honey, take the Book of Mormon in Russian into the room with her and read scripture passages and then be like, do you want me to tuck you in? And she's like, no.
Here's my thing. What if they're in the bed cuddling and he like wants to like put in the tip and she says no? Is he going to be like, why can't she stop them from, if he's having temptation, why can't he just believe that she's going to be like, no, we're not going to do this?
Because in his mind, what if he then rapes her?
Yeah.
And he can't marry a wife that he's raped.
That's my thought is like, does he think that he's going to get into a rut, like an animal-like mode to where her saying no, you remember you want us to stay pure for baptism and you want us to be married in the Mormon church, is not going to stop him? Or he's just going to be so angry at her for putting the temptation in front of him in the beginning? Like, it is bizarre.
Yeah, like the way that he's just like, one more kiss, like, if you weren't on camera, are you much more aggressive?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't, but I also we can't even say any of this because, I mean, we are saying this, but it's like, this person also has maybe we don't know what this person has been diagnosed with. So it's like hard to even talk about, which is annoying for me because it's like half of me feels guilty to talk about someone. The other half of me is like, this person's on a reality show, to talk about.
Yeah, you're right. I don't feel guilty when like, when I feel guilty is when people are like, we read on Reddit that he's on the spectrum. And then I'm like, well, that wasn't said to us. And if I'm just watching the show and no one told me that there is a little bit of something out in his life that makes it different, then how can I feel? How am I supposed to know? Sorry.
Well, we might not have known, but then he says the word, and I thought he says that he is ultimately what he does not want to do is they don't want to Skoodilypoop.
No, poop. It's definitely poop. Which I said, why would you even have the word poop in something to do with sex? She's like, what does that mean? And he's like, intercourse. And she's like, oh, okay. And then he's like, penetration. She's like, great, thanks. Thank you. I understand. She's like,
I don't want that for her.
I don't want it for her either. It may seem cute now, but in the long run.
No, it doesn't seem cute now. And I know what the word cute is, and I don't even know what connotation these people think the word cute is, but whatever they think the word cute is, whatever I think the word cute is, Skoodilypoop is not fucking cute.
Oh, it's not.
No, it's not cute.
Uh-uh.
No, it's not cute.
It's
and
not.
I mean, in that confession, I was just like, this can't be real. Like,
Yeah.
she has to, she's gotten it
I
now.
mean, and if somebody who English isn't their first language clocks you.
Yes. She was like, come again?
Yeah.
The energy was very much like, and I mean, like, I felt like the energy to the camera was like.
Also, I love it when they get to the hostel and he wants to sit down and she's like, no, I already told you this is not happening. Because her mom told her to put the law down.
Yeah. She's like, I'm young and attractive and I need Steven to protect me. And we're like, two out of three ain't bad. And then, she has told him that she will look at the hostel and she walks in the hostel. He's like, look at the shoes,
which usually indicates it's a
Someone's-
drug house.
yeah.
Like, so it's just like, what are you talking about? And then they sit down and she then is like, listen, I guess me speaking to you in your own language is not going to work. So I'm going to speak to you in my language. And I'm going to ask you two very serious questions. One, I already told you that you need to protect me and that this is dangerous and people here look suspicious. So are you not going to do that? Are you not going to hold onto your word, Steven?
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, I feel like you don't want to be baptized in the church. And so she's like, so no, maybe you are having the problem because you are telling me that you cannot keep yourself from wanting to have sex. So is that what you're saying is you're not going to protect me. And then on top of that, you are having second thoughts about this and baptism and like whatnot.
Also, she brings up the fact that because, like, for some reason because he just said this whole thing about the fact that he wants to date other people while he was dating her, she feels like he just wants to go to the hostel to like bang whatever tourist that's going through, So like there's that whole aspect, it's like, which we're always like, with the Julia and the Brandon thing where she's like jealous of him. And in this moment too, we're like, what?
You don't really want this person. Let him cheat on you.
Yeah, I mean,
so that you have a way to get out of this.
Get out, run. I mean, yeah, like Lupe. I mean, yes, Lupe said it. Run. I mean, don't.
Only if not because of his possible issues. More so of his immaturity.
Yeah,
that's really just it. He's not ready to marry. He's not ready to be her husband. She's far more mature than he is, and he's older than her. And she's already having to be like, listen, your religion is not going to dictate our lives.
Yeah.
We're not just going to follow rules blindly. Like, we're adults. We don't need to not cohabitate in order to not have sex. And if they don't believe us, then I don't want to be in this.
Yeah, I'm in a foreign land. I'm young. I want to be here by myself. And he's like, what you don't remember, what you don't know, or whatever is like, my religion is the most important thing to me. And it's like, yeah, that's to you. I don't know, it makes me, of course, want to throw my phone and be like, why is your important religion important to her again? Oh yeah, not. You have to understand like where you stop and another person starts. And that's how a lot of, I feel feelings about how politics work. Okay, so the next day they're gonna go out their first time, and he, for some reason, like after the whole like we have to not be tempted, he's like walking around Honeywood like out of the shower. He's like, well, just grab me, an outfit, one that matches what you're going to wear, which is like she comes out in a very cute ass like dress. She's like, how do I look? He's like, you look cute, and then he like hugs her, but he's out of the shower and he gets her dress. He's like, look at your dress wet, and she's like, oh, it's chill. I'm chill with that. Okay. And then they get ready to go. Honey, they just left the door of their apartment. They're going to go out on the first day together in Turkey. And this MFer walks by a pool.
Oh, it's really hot. You know what I'm going to do?
Jump into the pool.
Takes off his shoes and socks, thank God. But doesn't take your shirt off. Jumps in. And I said right there, this person has a problem. He's an impulse control. And I cannot marry somebody who has impulse control issues. Who knows what kind of shenanigans he's going to get himself into, our children into.
Oh.
I don't want this genetics. I don't want it.
No, not at all. No, I mean, like, I completely agree. And like, again, this is where I would have been like, oh, okay. One night only. And I would have just, honey, walked. We'll go right back to my mommy and my grandmother, honey. I'd be like, I messed up 2 weeks. So mess on me, but yeah, he swims in this pool. He looks crazy. She's in her dress. He's like, come jump in. She's like, no, I'm wearing a dress and no, and I'm an adult and absolutely not. So then he feels awkward, actually should, comes out, and then he's like, can I hold your hand? Can I hug you? And she's like, no, you are sopping, dripping wet, and I am wearing a very adorable dress that's not matching what your outfit is.
Yeah, only the
and
pink
you look
and the
crazy.
flowers, maybe.
Yeah. And you look crazy now, and we have to walk through, and you're just like, well, I really do hope it's like literally 97, and he's just going to dry off right away.
Well, he did, because by the time they got to the hostel, his hair was dry. Now, unless they did a little bit of movie magic and like
dye that or dry that hair.
Yeah, like he probably went to the upstairs and like for it to have. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I'm just throwing out an idea.
Well, don't be dumb, Wah.
I know.
Don't throw out dumb ideas, Wah. Look at him saying how he wants someone who can make a smart decision in this world, honey. Impulse control. You think that he's just you think that MFR, they're gonna be like, you know what? That looks weird. Why don't you go upstairs and get dry? Like, no, they're not going to give him the Dyson, honey, and let him dry off. That motherfucker is just walking to the bazaar, honey, like that. I don't know if it's a bazaar. What is the Turkish called? Bazaar? Maybe it's a bazaar. Yeah, after showering. And yeah, he had just showered and putting the clean clothes on.
And I'm like, does that pool have chlorine in it?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Well, I don't know. Maybe other countries use like a different chemical or something. Or maybe it's like salt water. It's like salt water is all the rage these days.
I like it. I mean, like, in this comment I put up, Lupe says that she feels secondhand embarrassment. Like, you mean for Alina, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when this happened, I just kept watching her face to see if I could see in her face realization.
And I saw it.
Where, I mean, I think we've all been in situations where we have been confronted with a hardcore red flag. And we've also, if you've lived a life on this earth, you've had that happen, didn't do anything, and it's been awkward, and then something, whatever happened. And then so the couple of times that you feel the energy again of like, oh no, comes a point where you are like, I get out, I tap out, and you are so happy that you have learned, that you know that you have done the self-care. And she is so young that I feel like I am watching her understand the feeling of like, oh, this isn't it.
Yeah. And it's just because we're socialized women, and I don't know what it's like in where she's from, but women, it feels like she was raised by really strong women.
Yes.
Feels like a woman dominated strong household to the
matriarchal to the least.
Yeah, to where the mother is just like having these last words with her, like, don't let him punk you. Don't let this happen. Make him protect you. These are the things. She's like, mom's like, I need to have a very serious conversation with Stephen. Like, she's very much like, you're not gonna, don't be no punk bitch. Don't be out here and let this man run over you. So I'm glad that she has that. She has more wherewithal than I would have at 20. At 20, I would have been like, you're silly. Oh my God, you're so crazy. I would not have been as smart.
But okay, well, would you have jumped in the pool?
Oh no, absolutely not. No. But I would self-doubt myself anytime I felt doubt about this person. I would doubt myself each turn. I just know how I was at 20.
Yeah.
I really wanted a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like I wanted that kind of male attention.
Yeah.
And so like, and I wasn't super religious at that point, but I had just come out of being super religious. And so I would have full on been like, oh, God put this person in my path. Oh yeah. That's the kind of church I went to. It was like, anything that comes into your life, God did it. So take it.
Take it and run, honey.
Yeah, like, and so I would have been like, God put this person in my path, especially that he was like he's biblical in some sense. So I would have been like, oh, God put this person in my path. And like, it is not up to me to decide whether or not this is right. I have to go with this because this is what needs to happen. And I just need to persevere. I need to go through my trials and tribulations because my church taught, and I think a lot of Black churches taught, is that you need to go through the fire to come out like a phoenix.
Like Ari, did you jump over the fire in thigh highs?
Yeah. To come out like a phoenix. And God, yeah. It would have been difficult for me. And it would have taken like something crazy for me to be like, okay, I can't do this anymore. Like him spending money on like a motorcycle. And even then I would have been like, well, this is my journey that God has put in front of me.
When you said spend money on the motorcycle, did you mean specifically?
Like if we're poor already.
Oh,
I
thought you meant what's his face from last season? Ronald and Tiffany. Didn't he buy a motorcycle?
Oh, I didn't watch that season. But I saw that I didn't watch the season fully, but I do know what you're talking about, that he spent $3,000 on motorcycle parts or some shit, right? Yeah. Like,
I think it's $5,000 actually.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, like I would have been like, oh, this is my penance, or like, this is, at the end of the day, like I'm going to be a strong, persevering woman by standing by my man and all of that. I think that unless a man was hitting me or aggressively cheating on me or like being belligerent, I don't know that I would have gotten out of it. I don't know that I would have, because I would have thought,
whatever you had to thought you had.
Jesus sent this person my way.
Yeah, this person is reading you Bible things. Mm-hmm. Then you're just like,
yeah.
Okay, and also like, I like you so much and I don't want to disrespect you. Mm-hmm. And you're so cute.
And he shows me love.
And I'm so happy to be here in Turkey.
Yeah.
With you, Turkey.
And you just think that like, oh, he's just a dope and he just like loves me and like I just need to be patient with him. But then you realize there's real life shit that needs to go down and bills need to be paid and like some people need to be serious at some point. And it like if you're just like jumping into pools and like,
why don't people get married so fast, so early? Because you're just like 17 and
yeah.
I mean,
especially if religion is behind it. Oh, girl, religion or drugs, you fucking do jump in pools with them.
Can you believe that we are alive in this time and place that like we're not of a generation where we're not in a church with already like 4 kids?
Yeah, I mean,
you're like,
I would like to be in that place, but would I want to be unhappy with my partner? No.
Yeah, you can't be with a Steven with a B, nor a Steven with a PH if he's like Steven with a B.
I can't do it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think, is that pool thing the end? Yeah, no, because I can't. I didn't know. I mean, like nothing else happens that day. Like it's like the last shot of them is like walking off. He is already dry though. He's
already dry by the time they get to the hostel. We already talked about the hostel. We just went back to the
yeah. The hostel happened where I'm so sorry. Yeah, where
she like goes
into
Russian.
I'm gonna go
into Russian.
Yeah.
She's like, listen, I already spoke in your language. You weren't getting it. So here's my language. Steven. Like,
well,
very,
no.
Yeah. And I'm like, at 20, I would not have been able to have that conversation with somebody I'm supposed to be married to in 90 days.
Yeah. And he really tries like, but you told me that we could at least walk in. And in my mind, I was like, but okay, you don't know yet that when she said, I'll at least walk in, did you really think that there was still a chance that she was going to like allow that?
Yeah.
You literally said, well, whatever you want or we'll do. And then so she at that point was like, cool. So we're not going to even have to go inside that hostel.
Yeah.
And I think that like, I think that we are going to watch more and more realization. And I think that it's going to be a little bit, I'm not quite sure. Maybe not. What if they're still together in this moment? Maybe I shouldn't say anything.
I mean, I don't
I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea.
They filmed that confessional together. So, I mean, like, literally when they saw that confessional together, I was like, oh, they're together enough to make this confessional.
Well, I mean, Natalie and Mike made confessionals, right?
Yeah, so you're absolutely right. So,
like,
I mean,
contractually
Darcy
obligated.
did.
Yeah, contractually obligated. Now, they could still be together.
And it's like,
but we don't know how long that's going to last. And also,
Truth.
like, Elena's probably blowing up on Instagram right now. So she's probably going to try to make this work for her and her mother's furniture store. Could you imagine? She's like, listen, I'm just going to deal with this. It's fine. I'm not doing anything else right now. I'm not in school. It's fine. Let's just do this.
Just like really took in what you
spend
said.
the next 3 years just messing around with this idiot. And like, maybe I'll get married, but then I can get a divorce. I'm like, it's fine.
She definitely get married, I don't think, because I think that she is like somewhat religious and like just, I mean, like, this is what I want, okay? This is what unfortunately, this is my soul screaming in this moment to say this. She's a virgin. I don't want her first time to be with him.
Yeah, did you see him pumping when she was on the
when
couch?
Yes, let's talk about it.
Did you see him pumping?
Yes, I did. He gets on the couch and he's like, I can stay here. He has his legs over here and he's like, and he's like, what? I didn't show
And I
him.
was like, there's just no swerve in that. It's just like up and down, in and out. Like, ugh.
It is a number 2 pencil and it pokes.
Oh, it is a number 2 pencil.
It pokes you. And I don't want her. I don't know. You know what? This is like, listen, her business is not my business and I don't know what's going to happen. And I think that probably whatever's happened's already happened. And so it feels like, looking up at the stars, when you look up at the stars, just so you know, my loves, and I'm sure you do, when you see those starlight coming down at you, that light is millions of years old. The things you're looking at, those stars, some of them don't even exist anymore. You still see the light, okay? I don't want to have to just make commentary on things that have already happened, but I'm only seeing the light now. But what am I going to make commentary on things that might not even exist or have moved past what I'm seeing? I do not want her virginity to have been taken by him. And that is what I need to say to you. And I feel bad saying it on a live because it means something, right? It means that I don't think that he's worthy. And it's that I just feel an overwhelming protectiveness as a big sis energy to her that I hope to God that he isn't the one that took it. But I'm assuming it is. Why?
Yeah, I mean, I would hope not, but like honestly, like it could be worse than him. At least she can only go up from there.
What do you guys say? Lupe said the corny horny. Now, how do you feel about it?
I saw that and it was hilarious. And I said to myself, Lupe, thank you.
He's so horny. It's very, all of it is a hard watch, isn't it? Aren't you just uncomfortable and but I don't know how this is going to turn out. This is the one. This is, every season has a couple where one of them is open your mouth, like cringeworthy. What is this? And he is that. And again, it makes it easier to talk about someone when you don't think about whatever issues they might have, either addiction issues or mental issues. I don't know I'm not saying he has addiction issues, but there's been people that have fit the bill in seasons past that can fall in that category. But I don't know what to tell you about that one other than it's the train wreck that we're watching this season. That's the one. That's it.
They got cast for a reason, y'all.
Yeah, they did. And it's because they're the corny horny. Okay, my loves, before we go, what are your last thoughts so far? Still somewhat of like a transitional episode, I think, in the season, but nice to know that Victor is okay. Corey and Evelyn, again, super boring, but at least they had those sisters. Maybe she can pull the Ramadan. Oh, I got a super chat. Maybe she can pull the Ramadan type excuse like Muhammad did. Ha 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 ha. I mean, I would like to think so because I do not want that to happen to her and Vanessa. Yay! Thank you. Yay! Thank you so much, Vanessa. Yeah, it's fun to have my little while with me. We had a good weekend. We went to the beach and we went to got dumplings and just had some great girl time. I finally watched Coming to America too, so we got to talk about that. Evelyn literally hates that man. I know. It's so crazy that they're married or that she got married to him. It's crazy that she was like, well, he had to leave the country or, not. So I hiccuping got married. And in my mind, I was like, okay, but is it because you have that business together and you didn't want her to leave because of that? And also, I love the fact that like Sumit is going to hear that, be like, "Oh, what's your excuse?" I really already said that because it's so funny to me. Yeah, I mean, Evelyn really hates him and is yet married to him, like for whatever reason. And Corey always felt like he was obsessed with her and loved her this whole time, and now is very much treating her like that's not the case, with the whole being super cheap and having cheated on her situation. So, all right, my loves, we've been talking. Anything else about you? No? Evelyn is making his life miserable, honey. Same. I think they're together in this. Wah, how you doing? You want to say anything else?
No, but you guys have a fantastic evening. I had to go to the bathroom. My body was hurting. Like it's a lot. So I gotta take some medication because I feel a headache coming on. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay.
But you guys have a fantastic evening, and I'll see you tomorrow because I'll go live tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she'll go live on her channel tomorrow to talk about this exact same episode. So if you wanted just another hour and a half of her talking, less me, no me, her, go to Wah's channel. Just call me Wah here on YouTube. Of course, you can follow her on Instagram and Twitter. She's at Just Call Me Wah. I am at Chris L. Farah. That's my name. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter, again, and my private Facebook group, Vanity Farah. So I love that blanket on the bed. Honey, that's the Bear Bee. It is the gravity blanket, Bear Bee. I think it was a West Elm. It was like a collaboration with, but I love it very much. Now on Darcy and Stacy. I know, right, Jessica? Wall got so mad at me because I said that Darcy and Stacy were super trashy, which they are, of course, but Wall loves Darcy, loves her. And so she was like upset, and I was like, because I also was like, oh, they're so trashy, I can barely watch them anymore, and then she was like, what? Like, I can't watch them anymore. It was like making her so upset. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll still watch them, but they are so trashy. And I just like, I mean, it's one thing to be trashy. It's like one thing to be this. It's just so like, you cannot parade around with designer bags that are supposedly thousands of dollars and make me feel like you respect my intelligence, because there's no way all those bags are real. And you also walk around with those extensions in that hair. One cancels out the other. They are oxymorons. There's jumbo shrimp. You are not rich and have that quality of hair. Extension, hair look. They can have their natural, normal, textured hair done well. And so there is a way to do their hair. I don't know what it is. Dye it the normal color, wear it curly, make it curly, something. That could be what it is. And having spent money on a hairstylist to teach you that or tell you that or something, or have an image consultant that you've spent good money on would tell you that. So any rich person, that could be that. That's how I know they're not rich, because they have those hair extensions. Okay, my loves, here I am talking about them. Okay, so that's how I feel. I love you guys, and I want you to have just such a beautiful week. We're going to go, she said she's going to go live tomorrow to talk about this same episode of 90 Day Fiancé Toe, and then Wednesday we'll go live to do our Say What? It's our pop culture show. Then I'll be live on my channel, this one that you're on now, which please, by the way, subscribe and like this video. If you haven't liked this video, you know I need it so much. You know I ask for it. Don't be like Corey, cheap with your likes. But I will go live, do my following, and then next week again, Toe. Okay, that's where we are at. All right, my babes, I love you all so much. Thank you so much for spending some time with us on this beautiful Sunday Eve. We really appreciate you. Wall's ready to go. Can you tell? I love you guys again. So take care of yourselves and one another. Stand up for what you believe and make art. All right. We love you so much. Thank you for being here. Like this video. Leave a comment.